Morning, students. So in the previous session we have learned about the different types of pair of angles, transversal, and when the transversal intersects two parallel lines, how many types of angles will be formed, and what are the properties of those angles we learned. So based on those properties and the definition of the angles, we are going to solve these problems in this exercise 9b. Okay. So now in the given figure, P is parallel to Q and T is the transversal. If angle 1 is equal to 110 degrees, find other angles in this figure. Here this is line P, this is line Q. These two are given as parallel. Already it is given as these two lines are parallel. Now T is the transversal. So when a transversal line intersects two parallel lines, it forms some special angles which we learned in the previous class, and they have some special properties. So using that properties, we are going to solve this problem. Okay. If angle 1 equal to 110 degrees, so only one of the 8 angles is given, only one angle out of 8 angles is given. You have to find out the remaining angles. How to find out? You have to use the properties. Okay. So if you observe here, this line P is intersected by this transversal T, means these two lines are intersecting lines. When two lines intersect to each other, they will form linear pair angles like this. Okay, this angle 1 and angle 2 are called as a linear pair, and angle 4 and angle 3 also called as a linear pair, and angle 1 and angle 4 also linear pair, and angle 2 and angle 3 also called as a linear pair. What is the property of linear pair? The sum of the two angles are equal to 180 degrees. Angle 1 plus angle 2 is 180 degrees. Because this is a straight line, it will form a straight angle which is equal to 180 degrees. That's why by adding these two angles, you will get 180 degrees. Here also this is a straight line. This is intersected by this line. Then these two angles will become as a linear pair, which have the sum of the angles is 180 degrees. Angle 1 plus angle 4 also 180 degrees. Angle 4 plus angle 3 also 180 degrees. And angle 2 plus angle 3 also 180 degrees. Okay, here also 5 plus 8 180, 8 plus 7 180, 6 plus 7 180, 6 plus 5 also 180 degrees. Okay, so by using that property, you can find out angle 2 here. Since you know angle 1 here, by adding these two angles is 180 degrees, so you can find out the second angle. See the steps here. In the figure, angle 1 and angle 2 are linear pair, and the sum of angles in a linear pair is 180 degrees. You can write that angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 180 degrees. So now this is the unknown value. So now it is an equation in one variable. Okay. So now by substituting the value of 1 here, which is angle 1 is equal to 110 degrees is given in our problem. 110 plus angle 2 equal to 180. Now by transposing this 110 to right side, you will get angle 2 is equal to 180 minus 110 gives 70 degrees. So now you know these two angles. What is the angle 1 here? It is already given that 110 degrees. So now you found the angle 2, which is 70 degrees. By adding these two, you will get 180. So now just by seeing this figure, you can find out the remaining angles. You know vertically opposite angles. What are the vertically opposite angles? What is the property of vertically opposite angles? Those are equal to each other. So now angle 1 and angle 3 are vertically opposite angles, and angle 2 and angle 4 also vertically opposite angles. So now you can directly write that in place of angle 3 you can write 110 degrees. Okay, here angle 2 is 70, these two are vertically opposite angles, so this is also 70 degrees. Okay, now you know 4 angles. You can find out the remaining angles also by using the pair of angles properties. So now you know angle 1 is corresponding angle to angle 5. Since this is a transversal and these two are parallel lines, angle 1 is corresponding angle to angle 5, and you know that corresponding angles are equal to each other. So angle 5 is also 110 degrees. Okay, now angle 2 and angle 8 also corresponding angles, which are existing at the same place. Okay, now this is also 70 degrees. So now again use the same properties. Here these two are vertically opposite angles, so this is 110. These two are vertically opposite angles, this is 70. So now you know all the angles. That's what we have to find out. Find the angles. Okay, now we have to write these as steps. So after finding this, you can write all these reasons here. Angle 1 is equal to angle 3 because vertically opposite angles. Angle 1 is equal to angle 5 because they are corresponding angles. Angle 5 equal to angle 7 since vertically opposite angles. Angle 2 equal to angle 4 since vertically opposite angles. Angle 2 is equal to angle 8 since corresponding angles. Angle 8 equal to angle 6 since vertically opposite angles. So by using these reasons, you can write all the angles as a list like this. Okay, by seeing the figure. So this is the first problem. Next one, in the given figure, L is parallel to M. These two are line L and line M, and parallel to each other. And A is a transversal here, which is intersecting these two parallel lines at two different points. And if angle 1 and angle 2, these two angles are in the ratio 3:7. Here directly the angles are not given. It is given that in a ratio 3:7. Find the measure of the rest of the angles. So first you have to know that angle 1 and angle 2 are linear pair again, because this is a straight line and this line L is intersecting. Since intersecting lines will form linear pairs, okay, adjacent angles will form linear pairs. So angle 1 and angle 2 are linear pairs. Since angle 1 and angle 2 are linear pairs, the sum of these two angles is 180 degrees. So angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 180 degrees. Okay, and also given that the ratio between these two angles is 3:7. 3:7. So now these are not the actual values here. By dividing a common factor, this ratio will form, you know, all of you. For example, here it is 12:28. Maybe it is you have to think that this is a actual ratio of the given numbers. Okay, this is the actual ratio of given numbers. If you think, if we divide these two numbers with a common factor, which is the highest common factor of these two, which is 4, 4 3s are 12, 4 7s are 28, you are getting this one. Okay, if you think like this, okay, it is not exact value, you have to think like this. So by multiplying these two values with a common factor, which is 4, you are getting these two values. Okay, by multiplying these 3 and 7 with a common factor, you are getting some actual values. Means, but you don't know it is exactly 4. It may be 5 also. 3 5s are 15 and 7 5s are 35 also may be there. Okay, that's why you don't know these two values. So that's why you can take it as x. In place of 4, you can take it as x, means 3 into x, this one, and this you can take it as 7 into x. So these values now you can take it as actual values of the given angles. Actual values of the given angles. So whenever the ratio is given in the problems, we have to write them as, by multiplying them with x, you can write them as the actual values. Okay, for example, 4:8 is given in your problem, then you can write as the actual angles as 4x comma 8x, like that. If 10:7 is given, you can write the actual angles as 10x comma 7x. Okay, so here you can write it as 3x comma 7x. Okay, so now let the actual angles of linear pair angle 1 and angle 2 are 3x and 7x, and you know that the sum of the linear pair is always equal to 180. Therefore angle 1 plus angle 2, which is equal to 3x plus 7x, is equal to 180 degrees. Okay, like that you can write. Now by adding these two, you can find out the x value. This is 10x, which is equal to 180. X is equal to 180 by 10. Cancel this, you will get actual common factor of these two numbers, which is 18 degrees. Okay, so just we assume that this is 4, but it is 18 actual value. So now you can find out the angle values by multiplying this x value with the 3 and 7. So what will be the angle 1 here now? 3x, which is 3 into 18, 54 degrees. And angle 2 is equal to 7x, which is equal to 7 into 18, 126 degrees. Okay, by adding these two angles, you should get 180 degrees, because these two are linear pair. Sum of the angles should be equal to 180 degrees. You are getting correct. So angle 1 is 54 and angle 2 is 126. So now by using these two angles, you can find out remaining angles, like in the previous problem. This is 54, this is 126. So now these two angles are opposite, vertically opposite angles. So this is also 54 degrees. These two angles also vertically opposite angles. So this is also equal, this pair also. And now you can apply the properties of angles which are formed by the transversal. First one is angle 4 and angle 6 are corresponding angles. So corresponding angles are equal. Okay, now angle 1 and angle 5 also corresponding angles. So this is also 54 degrees. Now again, by using the same properties in the previous one, which is vertically opposite, this is also 126, this is 54 degrees. So now you got all the angles just by seeing the figure. You can write the reasons and you have to write the steps like this. Okay, like this you have to write all the steps. So now this is the total list of angles here. We are going to the third one. In the given figure, are the lines A and B parallel? Justify your answer. Two lines are given and one transversal line is also given. You have to find out that the given two lines are parallel or not. Already in the previous session I have explained you how to find out if the two lines are parallel to each other by using the properties of angles formed by the transversal. So just first property you can use, which is corresponding angles. If the corresponding angles are equal to each other, we can tell that the given two lines are parallel to each other. Okay. So now one of these corresponding angles is given as x. Okay, this is 125 degrees. If it is 125 degrees, after finding this value, we can tell that these two angles are equal to each other. Okay. So now we have to find out x value, and you know these two angles are linear pair to each other because this is a straight line and this line is intersecting this line. So two intersecting lines will form linear pair. Okay. So now x plus 75 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Since the sum of the linear pair angles is 180 degrees, now you can find out x is equal to 180 minus 75, which is equal to 105 degrees only here. Now you got what is the value of x here. By observing these two, you can find that these two angles, even though the corresponding angles, they are not equal to each other. They are not equal to each other by finding out this angle. Since these corresponding angles are not equal to each other, the given two lines A and B are not parallel to each other. Even though they are drawn like parallel lines, they are not parallel to each other because 20 degrees difference is there here. Okay, since they are not equal corresponding angles, the given two lines are not parallel to each other. Like that, you have to write the justification. I will show the steps here. So here line A and Q are the intersecting lines, and angle X and angle 75 are the linear pair. Therefore, the sum of the linear pair is 180 degrees. So x plus 75 is 180. So now you can find out by sending this, transposing this 75 to the right side, which is 180 minus 75, which is 105 degrees is the angle X. So now you know line A and line B are being intersected by transversal line Q. Okay. Here line A and B are intersecting by a transversal line Q. Then angle X and angle 125 are the corresponding angles. Since they are corresponding angles, they should be equal. But if you observe, angle X, which is 105, is not equal to 120 degrees. Therefore, from this we can conclude that the given lines A and B are not parallel lines. Not parallel lines. Like that you can justify. Okay. So now go to the fourth one. The arms of two angles are parallel. This is first angle, this is another angle. Two angles are given. These arms are parallel to each other. This first arm is parallel to first arm, second arm is parallel to second arm of the second angle. Okay, that is the first sentence. The arms of two angles are parallel to each other. Next, if angle GEF is equal to, where is the GEF here? GEF. So the central letter you have to take as the angle point. Where you have to take the angle? At which letter? Which letter is in the center of these three letters? There you have to take this angle. Angle GEF means where you have to take this angle? At E, which is the center letter. So here this is angle GEF means here it is 47.5 degrees. One of the angle is given. So then you have to find out angle ABC, which is angle B here, angle DZC, which is angle G here, and angle EGC. Here also angle G only, but here you have to take this side. Angle EGC means central letter G here, but you have to take in the opposite side. This angle you have to find out. Okay. Three angles you have to find extra. So now by observing these figures, it is given that in the first line itself, this AB is parallel to DE. AB is parallel to DE. And also given that second pair of two arms, which is BC, is parallel to EF. BC is parallel to EF. These two lines are also parallel. So now take these two lines, second pair of parallel lines, BC and EF. Okay. If you extend like this, even though it is not given like this, you can extend. And this line also you can extend like this. Now if you observe, these two are parallel lines and this will become as a transversal to this, which is intersecting at two different points. A transversal line means, and also it is intersecting two parallel lines the angles formed have some special properties, which is you can take the corresponding angles, because this is 47.5 degrees and this is also corresponding angle to this. So you know corresponding angles are equal to each other. So this angle DGC is also equal to 47.5 degrees. So one of the angle we found, which is 47.5 degrees. This is over. Okay, this angle is over. Next, angle ABC. How can you find out angle ABC here? This also you can extend here just by using this dotted lines. Okay, just by tilting your head, you can observe these two are parallel lines, and this is the transversal for these two parallel lines. These two are parallel lines, and this is the transversal line to these two parallel lines. Okay, now you can again observe here, you know this angle. So at the same place, this angle is existing. So now these are corresponding to each other. So now you know that the corresponding angles are equal to each other. Therefore, this angle also equal to 47.5 degrees. So now you know the second angle also. This is angle DGC over. Okay, here DGC over. Next one is angle ABC, which is angle ABC, which is also equal to 47.5 degrees. Now we have to find out the remaining angle, which is EGC. EGC. How can you find this one? So by observing, you can find this angle in two ways. You can use the property which is sum of the co-interior angles, otherwise you can use the linear pair also. Here this is a straight line and this is intersecting this line. Now these two angles are linear pair to each other. Linear pair to each other. You know the sum of the linear pair is 180 degrees. So now if I take this angle as y, okay, y plus 47.5 degrees is equal to 180 degrees, since they are linear pair. Now you can find y by transposing this to right side, which is 180 minus 47.5 is equal to 132.5 degrees. So this is the last angle, which is angle EGC. So that's the problem. Okay, if you know the properties clearly, you can understand the problem and you can solve this using this figure only. Okay, directly you can solve. Okay. So now you see the steps here. Since the arms of two angles are parallel, AB is parallel to D and BC is parallel to EF. Since BC is parallel to EF, DE will become as a transversal to BC and EF. So now angle DGC and angle GEF are corresponding angles and are equal. So therefore, angle GEF is equal to 47.5 degrees given. Therefore, angle DGC is equal to 47.5 degrees, because these two are corresponding angles to each other. Okay, now it is over. Next, we have to find out angle ABC by using this one. Again, you have to use the corresponding angle property only. Okay, now now angle DGC and angle EGC are linear pair, and the sum of the linear pair angles is 180 degrees. So here I have found this angle. Okay, here you see this one. Up to here it is over. Next, since AB is parallel to DE and BC will become as a transversal to AB and DE. Okay, here AB, line AB is parallel to DE and BC will become as a transversal to this line. Therefore, angle DGC is equal to angle ABC, which are the corresponding angles to each other. So therefore, angle ABC is also 47.5 degrees. So like that you can write here. So now angle DGC and angle EGC are linear pair, and the sum of the linear pair angles is 180 degrees. Now we are taking the third one, which is angle ABC, third one. angle EGC angle you have to take. So if you observe here, DGC and EGC are linear pair to each other. Since the sum of the linear pair is 180 degrees, we can take this angle as y plus 47.5 degrees as, here I have taken directly here, DGC plus EGC is 180, so 47.5 plus angle EGC is equal to 180. Therefore, angle EGC is equal to, by sending this to right side, 180 minus 47.5 is 132.5 degrees, which is the third angle. So like that you can find the three angles. Next, fifth one. The given figure P is parallel to Q and A is parallel to B. These two lines are parallel and these two lines are also parallel lines again. Then find the measure of angle X, angle Y, angle Z and angle R, which are interior to these two pairs of parallel lines. So one of the angle is given, it is in the figure as 65 degrees. So this is the clue for us. So what is the clue here? Angles X and angle 65 are the vertically opposite angles. Okay, these two are intersecting lines. So these two angles became as vertically opposite angles. So X is here X, angle X is how much? Again 65 degrees. X is again 65 degrees. And now if you observe, it is given that angle P, this P and Q are the parallel lines, and this will be the transversal to these two lines. So now by observing this angle X and angle R, these two angles are existing at the same side of the transversal and they are existing in the interior of the transversal. Therefore, these are all called alternate interior angles. Now you know the property which is the sum of the alternate interior angles is 180 degrees. Sum of the alternate interior angles is 180 degrees. So angle X plus angle R is equal to 180 degrees. And now you know the angle X as here 65 degrees because these two are alternate interior angles. So 65 plus angle R is equal to 180. Angle R is equal to 180 minus 65, which is equal to 115 degrees. Okay. So here this is 180 minus 65 is equal to 150 degrees. Now you know two angles here. Here it is 60 degrees, it is over, and this is how much here? 180 minus 65, which is 115 degrees. This is not 65 degrees. This is 150 degrees. Now you know these two angles. Now again these two angles are alternate interior angles. Since line A and B are parallel to each other and this is the transversal, the sum of these two angles, which is angle R and angle Z, is also equal to 180 degrees. So by using that you can find out angle Z plus angle R is equal to 180, angle Z plus 115 is equal to 180 degrees. So angle Z is equal to 180 minus 115, which is 65 degrees. Okay, now you find this angle also 65 degrees. So again, if you use the same property to these two angles also, since these two are parallel and this is the transversal, now these two angles also alternate interior angles. So sum of these two angles is also 180 degrees, which is y plus 65 degrees, okay, is equal to 180 degrees. So angle y is equal to 180 minus 65, which is 150 degrees. So now you know all the angles which are x is equal to 65, y equal to 115, that is equal to 65, and r is equal to 115. So now the sixth problem. So in a parallelogram PQRS, PQ is parallel to SR here, and PS is parallel to QR is given, and angle PSR is given as 45 degrees. Then you have to find out angle SRQ means this angle, and angle RQP. RQP means this angle, and angle QPS means this angle. Remaining three angles you have to find out. One of the angle is given. Okay. So parallelogram means the name itself tells that two opposite sides are parallel to each other. These two lines are parallel to each other, and these two lines are also parallel to each other. In the previous problem, here observe here like this. Here this is the parallelogram actually. Okay, these lines are not there. This is also a parallelogram. Okay, now you can observe here. This is the parallelogram. So here you have to use again the co-interior angles property, because these are all interior angles only. And if you extend these lines like in the previous problem, you can understand that those lines are intersecting to each other like that. Okay, if I extend this line and this line and this line and this line, these two are parallel lines, and this will become as the transversal line. And again these two are parallel lines, and this will become as the transversal line. So by using this concept, you can find out the angles. And one of the angles is given here, 45 degrees. And since these two are parallel and this is the transversal lines, these two angles will become as the co-interior angles to each other. You know the property which is the sum of the co-interior angles is always 180 degrees. Okay, 180 degrees. Now you can write it as, so angle PSR, here angle PSR plus angle QPS is equal to 180 degrees. Now you know angle PSR which is 45 degrees. So 45 plus angle QPS is equal to 180. Now angle QPS is equal to 180 minus 45, which is 135. So angle QPS, it is 135. So now you can find out the remaining angles by using the same property. It is here. If you observe, these two lines are parallel to each other, and this line will become as the transversal. Okay, if you rotate this figure vertically, these two lines are parallel to each other, and this line will become as the transversal. Now this angle and this angle will become as the co-interior angles of this transversal line. So again you have to apply this co-interior angles property. The sum of the co-interior angles is 180 degrees. Okay. So since it is 45 degrees, again you will get 135 degrees only. Okay, because by subtracting that from 180 degrees you will get this as 135 degrees. Okay. So now again you take these two lines. These two are parallel to each other, and this line will become as the transversal. So one of the angle you know that, and these two angles are co-interior angles. The sum of the co-interior angles is 180 degrees. Okay. So one of the angle you know which is 135 degrees. By subtracting this from 180, you will get again this as 45 degrees. So now you know all the angles. So if you write this in the form of steps, so you can write like this. Okay. Since PQ is a transversal of parallel lines PS and QR, angle QPS and angle RQP are co-interior angles. Therefore, sum of the co-interior angles is 180 degrees. Therefore, angle QPS plus angle RQP is equal to 180. 135 plus RQP is equal to 180. Angle RQP is equal to 180 minus 135 is 45 degrees. So in the same manner, you can find out the remaining angles also. Okay. So now we are going to the seventh problem. So in the given figure, L is parallel to M, and T1 and T2, this is T1 and line T2 are transversals. So now you have to find the values of angle A, angle B, angle C, angle D, E, F. All these angles you have to find out. If we observe this figure, so these two transversals are forming two different types of angles because it is slanted to the left side, it is slanted to the right side. So they will form different angles. So you have to find out all the angles. So here also you have to use all the linear pair properties and the properties of transversal you have to use. So if we take this angle, this transversal T1, these two angles will form a linear pair. Okay. So since these two are linear pair, angle A plus 120 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Sum of the linear pair is 180. So angle A will become as 180 minus 120 is equal to 60 degrees. Okay. So now you know this angle which is 60 degrees. So by taking these two angles are co-interior angles to each other because these two lines are LM are parallel and this is a transversal. So now angle A and angle B will become as the co-interior angles. So now you know the sum of the co-interior angles, angle A plus angle B is equal to also 180 degrees. So now already you know the angle A which is here from this. So substitute here 60 plus angle B is equal to 180 degrees. Now angle B is equal to 180 minus 60 which is equal to 120 degrees. So now it is 120 degrees. Okay. So this angle already it is there. Now we can find D by using the vertically opposite angles property simply. So since these two are vertically opposite angles, this also 75 degrees, it is over. Next, this angle. How can you find out this angle? Again, you have to apply the co-interior angles property. Since angle this line L and line M are parallel to each other and T2 is the transversal, E and 75 will become as the co-interior angles. So since the sum of the co-interior angles, angle E plus 75 degrees is equal to 180 degrees, we can find out angle E 180 minus 75 which is equal to 105 degrees. So now angle E is 105 degrees. Okay. So now from this you can find F because these two are vertically opposite angles and are equal to each other. You can write as 105 degrees. So now how can you find out this angle C? If you observe, this is a straight line and this is also, M is also a line which are intersecting to each other. They will form linear pair. The sum of the linear pairs is equal to angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degrees. Okay. Now you know angle B here which is 120 plus angle C is equal to 180 degrees. Now angle C is equal to 180 minus 120 is equal to 60 degrees. Okay. Otherwise, you can apply corresponding angle property. Okay, here angle A and angle C are corresponding to each other. Therefore, since A equal to 60, C also 60 degrees. Simply you can do by skipping this step. Directly you can write that angle A and angle C are corresponding angles to each other. Therefore, angle C also 60 degrees. So like that you have to write the steps for this problem. Okay. So these are the steps I wrote. You have to write. Okay. All these steps you have to write. So now we can go to the 8th problem. The given figure AB is parallel to CD. AB is parallel to CD here, and angle ABE is equal to 120 degrees is given, and angle ECD is given at 100 degrees, and angle BEC is angle 8 degrees. Now you have to find out the value of angle A. 8 degrees you have to find out. Okay, angle BEC, which is 8 degrees, you have to find out. So how to find out this? Here AB is parallel to CD is given. Okay, now I have to construct line FG which is parallel to AB and CD like this. You have to construct the line FG which is parallel to AB and CD. Okay, actually it is given in your figure, but since it is parallel or not, we don't know. We have to draw a line like this, which is parallel to these two lines, to find out the A value here. Okay, so draw a line FG which is parallel to AB and CD, passing through point E here. So now you can use the properties. Okay, so here you can extend this line as like this, and this line also like this. So now these two lines are parallel to each other, and this line also you can extend, and this will become as the transversal. These two lines are parallel to each other, and this line will become as the transversal. Since this is a transversal and these two angles are co-interior angles, the sum of these two angles will become as the 180 degrees. Okay, so this angle, for example, if I take it as x, so x plus 120 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. So now x is equal to 180 minus 120, which is equal to 60 degrees. So now you know this angle, which is 60 degrees. Okay, now apply the same concept to this one also. So extend this here to understand the figure. Here also extend. So now forget this part, take only this part. So now these two lines are parallel to each other, and this is the transversal line, and this angle will become as the co-interior angles. So now again you know which is the sum of co-interior angles. This I am taking as y here. So y plus 100 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. So y is equal to 180 minus 100, which is 80 degrees. So now it is 80 degrees. Now we have to use a property which is the sum of the angles formed by a straight line is always 180 degrees. The angles formed by a straight line, the sum of the angles on a straight line, the sum of the angles on a straight line is always 180 degrees. Okay, that property you have to use. So by adding these three, by using that property, 60 plus A plus 80 is equal to 180 degrees. So now 60 plus 80 is how much? 140 is equal to 180. So now A is equal to 180 minus 140, which is equal to 40 degrees. 40 degrees. So this is the answer. Now you can write this problem as steps like this. Okay, so this is the angle A equal to 40 degrees. You can write this notes by using my document. Okay, so now I would like to explain the next problem. Two parallel lines L and M are cut by a transversal T. The interior angles on the same side on transversal are 2x minus 8 degrees and 3x minus 7 degrees. Find the measure of each of these angles. Find the measure of each of these angles. Here the figure is not given for this problem. I will show you. So two parallel lines L and M are cut by a transversal T. How can you draw these? For example, this is L and this is M, and it is cut by a transversal T like this somewhere. If the interior angles on the same side, means co-interior angles are given here, interior angles on the same side are one of the angle is given that 2x minus 8 degrees, and second angle is given that 3x minus 7 degrees. Angles are given in the form of expressions. Okay. So now we have to find out the measure of each of these angles. Okay. So now you can clearly understood that how to solve this problem. What is the property of the co-interior angle? The sum of the co-interior angles is always 180 degrees. So you can write this as 2x plus 8 plus 3x minus 7 is equal to 180 degrees. By adding these two you can write. So now it is 2x plus 3x is 5x, minus 8 minus 7 is minus 15. So this is the next step. 5x minus 15 is equal to 180. So send this minus 15 to this side, plus 15. So 195. So now x is equal to 195 by 5. We will get 39 degrees. So x is equal to 39 degrees. Now you can find out the individual angles by substituting this x value in the given expressions. So 2x minus 8 equal to 2 into 39 minus 8, which is 78 minus 8, 70 degrees. One of the angle. Second angle will be 3x minus 7, which is 3 into 39 minus 7, which is 117 minus 7, which is 110 degrees. By adding these two, you will get 180 degrees. Because the sum of the co-interior angles is 180 degrees, you will get 180 degrees. So it is correct. Okay, next, 10th one. The given figure, if angle x equal to angle y, angle x equal to angle y, and angle A is equal to angle B, prove that L is parallel to N. L is parallel to N, not M. You have to prove that these two lines are parallel to each other. Okay, so for this you have to solve this. Observe here, when we know that when two lines are intersected by a transversal and the corresponding angles are equal, then the two lines are parallel to each other. I already explained in the previous sessions. How can you prove that the given two lines are parallel to each other? By measuring the two corresponding angles. If they are equal, then you can tell that the given two lines are parallel to each other. So that's property I have to use here also. Okay. So now here it is. Here the lines L and M are intersecting by a transversal P here, where A and B, okay, transversal P, and the corresponding angles A and B they are forming. Okay, here these two angles are equal to each other, also given that here like that, equal to each other. Okay, and since these two angles, corresponding angles are equal, angle L is parallel to angle M. You can tell that these two lines are parallel to each other. But you have to prove that L is parallel to N. But you prove that L is parallel to M now, up to now. So now, if you take these two angles, and this M and N are parallel to each other. Okay, M and N are parallel to each other. This is given in the problem actually. Not given. M and N are the two lines, and M and N are two lines, and Q is the intersecting line, which is the transversal to these two lines. And now this X and Y are the corresponding angles, because they are forming at the same place, corresponding angles. Okay, and given that in the problem that angle X is equal to angle Y, this is also given, angle X is equal to angle Y. Since these two corresponding angles are equal to each other, we can tell that this angle and this line M and line N are parallel to each other. Okay, this is the second step. First you prove that L is parallel to M. You prove that L is parallel to M. This is first step. By using these two angles, since these two corresponding angles are equal to each other, by the given statement, L is parallel to M you proved just by seeing the figure. Next, also these corresponding angles angle X and angle Y are equal to each other, you prove that M is parallel to N. This is the second step. By using statement 1 and the second statement 2, you can write that L is parallel to M is parallel to N. Okay. Since L is parallel to M and M is parallel to N, you can write that implies L is parallel to N also. L is parallel to N also. Okay, like that you can write. The same steps you can write. Okay, and also lines M and N are intersecting by a transversal Q, and the corresponding angles, angle X and angle Y are equal. The lines M and N are parallel to each other, therefore M is parallel to N. From 1 and 2 you can write that L is parallel to N. Hence it is proved. Simple. It is looking like a big problem, but it is a simple problem. So up to here, this chapter is over. So now you have to solve the remaining oral quiz problem by yourself by using your textbook. Good day to all of you. Thank you.